what is going on, guys? Freaky Trades here, bringing you another new weekly stock watch list. Before we get started, though, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. With that much more being said, though, let's go ahead and dive into the watch list for this week. It is pretty short, so expect a pretty short video because there really isn't too much going on in the market right now as far as really good setups. And, in this channel, you guys know we only focus on really good setups. So going into earnings this week, there really isn't too much going on besides the around 3 or 4 main stocks that I'm looking at, but they're kind of just main stocks. They're not really big stocks that I really keep an eye out for. One would be SMCI. They're reporting after close on Tuesday. AMD right along with them. And then the other ones that I'm keeping an eye out for would be Shopify, which is before open on Thursday, and then Coinbase on Thursday after close. So obviously 2 really big crypto companies reporting this week as far as earnings go. It's really funny as far as SMCI goes. My friend made a joke that what is there really to report on SMCI, right? All they do is buy Bitcoin, right? Obviously, and I know there's more to it, but it's a really funny joke that of, what kind of guidance, what kind of earnings they're going to give along with that, right? So really funny thing that he had said on the mic the other day during one of our live trading sessions with the group. So, but yeah, that's as far as earnings go. Those are the only stocks that I'm really going to be keeping an eye out for and seeing if they have any kind of after move that we can take advantage of. Now, going into the watches here, we can go ahead and go to ES, and then after that, we can go to NQ. If I go to ES here or on the 4-hour or the daily chart, it doesn't really matter. You can see that we're after we had broken the previous area that we had been stuck in. If you guys saw the watch list from last week, you can see that it was stuck within a range. And now going into this week, we're going into another range that we had been stuck in, right? Before it was this 5650 area, we broke above that, held, and now we're at around this 5700 area where we're still around this range that ES had been previously in. And you'll see with the NQ chart that is something that NQ was doing as well. Now my levels for this, it's pretty straightforward because since this was the upside of the range, I would be looking to add an area of 5750/5760. So just really roughly a range break is what I would be looking at because this was a previous resistance. So I would assume this would get treated the same, but it's our job to see how it reacts going into this week. Closes above 5700, which is good, but there really isn't much else to this. There's no trend lines. There's really nothing. It's just levels at this point, levels in range. So next up is NQ. And if I go to NQ here, you guys will see it's the exact same story here. I zoom out a little bit here on the 4-hour, you can see this is the range that I had previously talked about, the 19600 area. Struggled a bit with that for the past few days, broke above that. Now we're at the top of this range of 20,150, 20,200. So roughly the same points that I'm looking at here in the top of the range would be around 20,400 because that was the previous support/resistance as well. So with NQ, as far as levels go, I would be looking for a stronger close above 20,200. Since we did close right around it, and then I would be looking at 20,400 for the next point of resistance on NQ. So again, with NQ as well as ES, there really is no trend lines, there's nothing else. It's really just levels and just ranges at this point. So those are the areas that I would be keeping an eye out for on NQ. And then if you guys are part of the chat, obviously we update you every single morning with the pre-market reviews with what we're looking at every single morning and what levels and ranges we'd be looking at to keep an eye out for. So first things first is Meta. If we go here on the 4-hour, you can see that we had actually finally broken out. Now, along with that, it's because of earnings. If you're a part of the chat, though, man, we made some crazy moves on Meta and Microsoft this week. Some pretty insane percent gains with the group. So pretty crazy. So first things first on Meta, I would be interested to retake this at 600. We did break 600 middle of the day at around 12, I believe, is what this happened. Yeah, around 12 p.m. on Friday. I'd be interested to look to retake this again just because that happened in the middle of the day where there's lower volume, less chance of a good breakout to actually hold. And you can see that we actually had trouble holding 600 once we did break it. So I would be keeping an eye out for 600. After that, I'd be looking at the double top that we created at around 604 with room up to 605 on that. Now, obviously, Meta has a lot of room after 600. The only issue with trading this at 600, anything above that, is you can see this is a massive range that we're kind of just stuck in. What did I just click? There we go. You can see here at around 600 at this level, you can see how much we have been messing with this 600 point for a while now. So still pretty far away from all-time highs, unfortunately. But with 600, you want to be a little bit careful. You want to make sure it has the right market sentiment, the right market divergence, make sure the buyers are strong, the sellers are weak, all that good stuff that we follow with the tape. So pretty straightforward setup on Meta. And then last but not least is Tesla. Now, Tesla obviously had broken outside of its range as well after earnings, and you can see that we're currently stuck in another range. We're stuck between 295 and 270. So, and we had previously rejected off of 295 on Friday again, 2 times, I believe. And so going into this week, I'd be keeping an eye out for 295 with room up to 300. Two pretty straightforward levels. I wouldn't look to play anything in between here. The only area that I could probably make an argument for is maybe below 280 again, or maybe 275, but that's only if this stock is showing any form of weakness or any kind of form that it's ahead of the market as far as it's weak or sellers are strong. Any kind to that extent, as well as the upside. Upside, sure, double top at 295 looks good, but again, this is stuck in a range, and this can always reject at 295 if it's not following the right market sentiment. So, but yeah, that's about it for the watch list, though, guys. Only these 2 stocks. Everything else is really pretty far away, and it's pretty choppy setup, and needs to set up a specific way. So there really isn't too much included with that. So. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the Sunday stock watch list. Before you go, though, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. And with that much more being said, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Peace out.